Hi, it's Carl McDonald here. I have been meaning for a while to try and do a short screencast following on from the one I did last year on LexisNexis's Bluefire Reader, this time to talk about the opposition service from Thomson Reuters with their ProView service for their ebooks. So this is a quick look at what they're able to do with theirs. So if we go into the ProView application, they have their own custom designed application, and open up. This is the initial library view for their service. So any books that you buy as an ebook, once you've associated it with your account, which you only need to do on the first occasion you log in, it will then automatically download them to your iPad or also onto your desktop, and I'll show you that a little later on. And it will ensure that it is accessible on any iOS device that you've got the application installed on. So unlike the LexisNexis equivalent, it's not restricted just to one device. So let me just show you quickly how they've gone about it and what they've set up with it. Let's go and have a look at Uniform Evidence Law. So if we jump into that, it'll open up into a navigation pane. I've been working my way through this, so let's just go back to the home. If I tap that little home icon, this will take me into the contents, and you can see on the left hand side here I've got a table of contents that shows me what's inside the service, and this mirrors or mimics quite closely the hard copy service that they have. Everywhere you see one of these arrows, that provides an ability to drill down one level into that navigation structure they've provided. So of course the primary stuff we want to find in this one is in the Evidence Act. So let's jump into the Evidence Act. It's divided then into the chapters. We can then jump into the particular chapters, and just for demonstration, a little while ago I was looking at some stuff on tendency and coincidence evidence, so I'm going to jump into there. And that'll take me straight to that first part of the chapter on tendency and coincidence. You'll notice other parts, the one below, part 3.7 on credibility. You'll see the little arrow there to the right. What that indicates is that I'm able to drill down just a little bit further. And that in fact deals with different divisions. They seem not to have, or not seem not to have, they have not gone into the ability to go down by section in this service, which is in some parts just a bit of a problem. And you can see we're already a few levels down, but personally I'd find the commentary here on tendency and coincidence, it covers 6 sections, but there's an awful lot of material in there that you can't navigate around quickly. Now there is a way to get around that shortcoming, and what that is by using either the note function or the bookmark function that ProView provides us. So you'll see down in the bottom left here, there's a couple of symbols. There's the first level that we're already in, which is the navigation pane. There's a search pane, there's a notes pane, and there's a bookmark pane. And there's also a history or breadcrumb trail available there. So let's just show you each of those. The notes pane allows me to select portions of the text, and I can either highlight it or create a note, and it will retain it there. So if I just tap on that, that'll jump me to the portion of the text where I've highlighted something. I can simply navigate around there. You'll see on the right hand side of the note it's got a page number, so I know where I am in the service. And I simply add that in if I would like to add this in. Just tap and highlight. Now if I add that as a highlight, let's choose purple just to make it stand out. And there it is. The other thing I'm able to do is I could highlight a certain portion of the text and I can add a note. I can choose a colour for the note. Let's add some text. And you'll see on the right hand margin on the main window pane, there's a little icon to show me that I've got a note there. And you'll see that it shows up just there underneath that highlight. This is important. There's the note. So that's very useful. The other thing I can do is I can go to bookmarks, and the way I save bookmarks is on the right hand side of the window pane. You'll see this little plus symbol on the bookmark tab. If I hit that, I've inserted a bookmark. If I want to take that out, tap it again and it's gone. So that makes it reasonably easy to navigate around the service, but what it does mean for a big section like this one we're in here on tendency and coincidence that runs for about 40 pages, you really need to work your way through it and mark it up in advance if you want to be able to navigate around it quickly when you're on your feet in court. Now, a few other features with ProView. As you'll see down on the bottom, there's a page number to show me where I am in the service, and there's a scroll bar that I can simply just click and drag, and that'll take me to any portion I like. I can type in a page number and that'll jump me straight to a page number. And in this particular service, the Uniform Evidence one, if we tap the gear icon up in the top right, that comes up with some options there. There's a really useful one in this service: pages match the book. And what that does is it means that our pages will match the book. The other option is you have the text reflows to eliminate scrolling. And what that does, just wait a minute for that to come up. I don't need to scroll now, so I just simply get one visible page on that window pane. If I want more text, I just swipe. Whereas if I turn page matches book on, that will match a physical book if I had the hard copy, but I might need to scroll up or down to see the rest of that page. If I turn that into portrait mode, that problem with having to scroll up or down is nowhere near as pronounced. And you'll see all of my icons that give me control are now up the top, and they automatically hide. Let me just go back to that page. You'll see there is a need to scroll a bit on that page. But having it set out in that way is very helpful, not least because I've got immediate access to the footnotes down there. So I really like what they've done there, but the fact that you've got the choice for whichever way you prefer is even better. You'll see though that the footnotes aren't visible there. There's hyperlinking all through the document. You might be able to see one just down there. And if I'd like to go back, there's the back button to take me from where I was. So a lot of little features in this that show they've really thought about how the app would work and how people might use the service in the electronic environment. We've got the ability to change the line spacing, if you want to make that a bit easier on the eyes. A couple of colour schemes, different types of fonts to choose. Personally, I find the Times New Roman a bit easier to follow. And there's also the ability to modify your text size. And if I go back to matching the book, you'll see I can make the text bigger, but then I'll need to scroll a bit more if I need to see down down the bottom of the page. But that's a really nice touch. One thing you don't have the ability to do is to print from the app, And I can understand why they've done that, because otherwise it'd be possible theoretically for me to go and print all 500 pages of the service off rather than buying a hard copy. But occasionally it would be nice to just print 1 or 2 pages, especially if you've got them marked up. So there it is, a pretty short overview of the ProView app on the iPad. In my view, very well thought out and really makes the eBook service damn useful to use. Streets ahead of the service available from LexisNexis, and my view is if you've got a choice between the two, you're looking at a service where it's pretty much the same content, you would want to go for the ProView service, much better. Now let's just show you what you can also do on your computer with ProView. So here's the Thomson's ProView login on the web. Pop in my password. Because this is linked to my account in much the same way as the application is on my iOS devices, I have all of the same services available on my desktop now on the computer that I had on my iOS device. So I can jump into there, and this works in pretty much the same way as it did on the iPad, except of course rather than touching the screen I'm just using my mouse and keyboard to navigate around. So there we go, let's expose the contents. And you'll see it all works pretty much the same way as previously. But the other fantastic thing that I can do is it synchronises my notes and my bookmarks. So there's that note that I created on the iPad. It's just taking a minute to access that. And there it is. Same with my bookmarks. So that's very helpful no matter which device I go to. Changes made on one are synchronized with another. And last of all, when you've got those bookmarks or annotations, it's possible to import them into new editions of textbooks. And the way you do that is simply just tap and hold the textbook and you get that menu bar on the iPad. I'd have the ability to import annotations. You could go from the 10th edition to the 11th edition of Uniform Evidence Law, for example. And Thomson's have got a bit more information available on their blog here, telling you just exactly how you would do that. So in summary, as I said before, if you've got a choice between the offerings from ProView or from the LexisNexis Bluefire application, in my view, there really is no choice. This wins hands down. There are a couple of minor things that I would like to see changed on the ProView, but they aren't real deal breakers at all. And I reckon this is a pretty sophisticated and powerful application that certainly goes a long way to making ebooks usable for practitioners. There's a lot of info available on Thomson Reuters website showing you what they've got available in ebooks. They are the same price as their paper-based publications. You'll only get a discount if you buy them bundled. And if you'd like to try it out for free, I've just found on their website here this free ebook version of a text about Michael Kirby. So why not download that and you can see just exactly how ProView works yourself. Thanks very much.